Hello, welcome back to this series talking about your spiritual journey. This is the second video. If you haven't seen the first, I invite you to go and see the first. So in the first video, we explored someone who has no awareness, just living their life, living on hope, on the edge, unaware of the impact of their action and how they mold their life, unaware of their deeper potential. So today, we take a look at the moment where we become the magician, meaning the shifting moment where we jump into awareness, or what we can call the spiritual journey. So the magician represents this moment where we realize that we are creators, that everything is connected, and we start to embrace our individuality and start to awaken to our individual and personal path. And our ability that in fact we carried all along, but we were unaware or looking at the other side, looking at others. So this is where we step into our power as creators, shaping our reality with intention and awareness. So if you're ready to explore the path of the magician and start your journey with awareness and purpose, let's dive in. But first of all, if you don't know me, hi, I'm Aline. I'm a therapist and I'm the creator of the Soul Review on Instagram, which is a page where now I help around 70,000 beautiful souls heal from dysfunctional family dynamics, toxic relationship, encounters with narcissists. So if you want to check me out, I will leave you a link down in the text box. So let's dive in. Let's talk about the magician. Card number 1. It's the beginning of the journey. So this is you. This card marks the transition from living in total self-unawareness to a higher conscience of our being and how our higher self is the creator of our life. We have the power to shape our happiness and our destiny. Many people go through a transition period when they go from the status of the fool towards the magician. So meaning from going from a life without any awareness towards a life guided by intentionality. This period often presents itself after an event in our life. It may be a loss of someone or a financial loss or health troubles, or it can be after depression or burnout, or after having encountered aha moment, when suddenly it brings us a new understanding. So awareness can be, in fact, quite a shock, and we might need to step back and reflect. And it's very normal. It's a shifting moment when we realize that we need to take back our power within ourselves. So if we look at life from an organized standpoint, like trying to define steps into our journey, we can see that we are at number 1. And so I want you to imagine the life of a plant. So it's first a seed, then it's a plant, then it's a flower, then it's a fruit. So those are steps into the journey of the plant. So for us, the magician defines the seed, in fact, number 1. This is why it's number 1. So in numerology, life is seen as an organized cycle, and it has 9 steps. And 1 is the new cycle. This is where we are now, at the beginning of a cycle, and it starts by recognizing our potential, and this will define the outcome. So this we don't need anymore. So now we take charge. So 1, it's you. It's you as an individual, as opposed to you as an element of a group, of a family, of a connection. So it's all about your individuality, your abilities, your strength, your engagement in your life. So if we look at the card of the magician, it shows us that we possess, in fact, everything we need. Look here. There are 4 elements on the table, and those 4 objects represent, in fact, the full spectrum of our being. So it's the physical, the emotional, the intellectual, and the spiritual aspect of life. So as an unaware human being, we tend to look at life only through the concrete. The spiritual path starts once we realize that there is much more than that. And in fact, many people, as they get the wealth they always desired or the success they always desired, suddenly they get into a depression. And this is the reason why, because they realize that what they thought that would bring them happiness, in fact, it doesn't. Because in fact, the driving force of our life and our happiness relies in the invisible. It's in our energy. So it's not about what we have, but it's about who we are. It's not about what can be seen, it's about what can be felt. Let's look again at the card, and above the magician head, we can see the symbol of infinity. And this is there to remind us of the limitless possibilities available when we align the elements inside of us, meaning the physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. The power of creation lies in the recognition that we are constantly in a flow of creation with infinite potential. We are not limited by what we have. At the opposite, when we take full responsibility of what we have an infinite potential. We are always able to realign and recreate ourselves. On my Instagram page, I very often talk about the importance of not comparing ourselves to others. And this is one of the reasons why there is nothing to compare, as each of us are different. The way we think, the way we feel, the way we move, the way we communicate, the way we create what we have, all of this is personal. And when we compare ourselves to others, we neglect our own energy, we neglect our own ability and our own individuality. We neglect the fact that we and only we are able to create a life that is right for us. So now let's observe the number 1, the number that is the number of the card of the magician, and look that the magician is holding an object in his hand that looks like a 1, and he holds it very high and proud. This is telling us, in fact, that we should hold our individuality very high. Now, let's look at the number 1 itself, the way that it's designed. So it's a straight vertical line that is rooted in the ground and going straight to the sky. So the alignment of those 2 energies is where the true power lies. The balance between the grounding and reaching a higher wisdom is what makes the magician strong. If one of those is not aligned straight, the one is unstable and falls. So the magician teaches us that we already have everything we need to begin our journey. The key is recognizing the power within us and aligning our intentions with action and using the tools available to us to create the life that we desire. I want to invite you to think about the tools that you possess, your own qualities and your own abilities, and what is truly the life you desire. And when I say you desire, I insist on that because it means that you need to cleanse yourself of everything that has been forced on you. Might it be by your education, by your family, or by society? What would your ideal day look like? How would you feel? What would you do? Think about yourself at an energetical level. What pushes you forward? What are you passionate about? Which feelings are driving you? Mentally and intellectually, who are you? Are you a logical thinker? Are you a creative? And also, what do you possess? And when I say what do you possess, I need you to think from a standpoint of gratitude, not of lack. Very often we are looking what we want that we don't have. No, I want to invite you to look at what you already have. So in conclusion, the magician reminds us of the power that we hold within, our ability to create. It reminds us that we have everything we need to create a life that is truly a reflection of ourselves, if and only if we embrace and work with the tools that we possess. In the next video, we will talk about the Wheel of Fortune, card number 10, and we'll get into the power of our choices and how it shapes our journey and how alignment with our higher selves leads to transformation. So the Wheel of Fortune is the next number 1 card in the tarot deck, and this is why I choose to talk about that. How is it the next number 1 in the tarot deck? Simply because if you take the number 10 and you put 1 and 0 together, 1 plus 0, we are back at 1. And as we have seen when we discussed about numerology, every cycle has 9 steps. So 10 marks the beginning of a new cycle. And if we look at card number 10, it's the Wheel of Fortune, meaning that it represents karma. And this is what we will talk about in the next video. So let's end it here for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you found it insightful. So if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you will know when the next video is live. And if you hear this, meaning that you listen till the end, please leave a 8 in the comments, reminding us of the infinite symbol, meaning that we have infinite possibilities. And also, sorry, if you have questions, feel free to ask. So thank you for joining me today. Until next time. Take care.